Meanwhile, there is the mystery of our third story on this topic, why Senator John McCain would immediately challenge Senator Obama to a series of 10 debates characterized as town halls in the wake of the reviews of his own onstage performance last night. McCain's speech was creaky, ungracious, and unnecessary. John McCain sounded old. Obama sounded fresh and new and exciting and visionary. Liberal tub thumpers in action? No. The first quote was from the National Review Online, and the second was from Morton Kondracki of Fox News. Senator Obama tonight told Brian Williams he thinks starting town halls next week, as McCain suggests, might be a little soon given the state of the race. McCain proposing 10 joint appearances with both candidates flying to the first one together.
I think Americans are tired of the ways presidential campaigns have been run in the past. All the gimmicks, the phony sound bites, and photo ops.
Later in that photo op, McCain explained his town hall gimmick with phony sound bites.
No matter who wins this election, the direction of the country is going to change dramatically. But the choice before the American people is between the right change and the wrong change, between going forward and going backward.
That was your cue, audience. Specifically, McCain last night said Obama relies on ideas of the 60s and 70s, apparently oblivious to the irony that his own plan today to reveal that the inspiration for his town halls came from Kennedy and Goldwater in the 60s. McCain's changed claim also hobbled to some degree by the fact that he and not Obama is in lockstep with President Bush on, say, such things as endless commitment in Iraq, lack of commitment in Afghanistan and Pakistan, on expanding health coverage for kids and uninsured adults, on Bush's tax cuts for the rich, on fear of diplomacy with America's enemies, on letting banks and gas companies run amok, on rejecting the new GI Bill, on opposing a woman's right to have an abortion, on appointing Supreme Court judges who would erase that right, and even on their styles as seen vividly last night in the contrast between his closing remarks and Senator Obama's.
We will be able to look back and tell our children that this was the moment when we began to provide care for the sick and good jobs to the jobless. This was the moment when the rise of the oceans began to slow and our planet began to heal. This was the moment when we ended a war and secured our nation and restored our image as the last best hope on earth.
Or
You and I have seen Republicans and Democrats achieve great things together. When the stakes are high and it mattered most, I've seen them work together in common purpose, as we did in the weeks after September 11th. That kind of cooperation has made all the difference at crucial turns in our history. It's given us hope in difficult times. It has moved America forward, and that, my friends, is the kind of change we need right now.
And that's their cue to applaud. With us now, MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, also host of her own show every weeknight on Air America Radio. Rachel, good evening.
Hi, Keith.
So you're still not convinced Senator Clinton is dropping out on Friday? You're waiting until
when I hear her say the word, okay, I'm starting to get convinced. When I hear her say the words, I will be 100% convinced.
And actually, like something like a word endorsement is necessary to this process.
Or
it's not
concede.
Just support.
Yes, yeah. One of those would be important. I was shocked by how hardline her speech was last night in terms of politics.
You were not the only one. 23 members of Congress and 8 senators phoned in and said, "What are you doing?" That was the gist of what Howard Fineman and Andrea Mitchell was reporting. That it isn't just us. The people on the sidelines that are just going, "How is this parade turning into a carnage out here? How is this possible?" We're not the only ones, clearly.
The other thing that was shocking about it was that if she is going for VP, you don't do that by questioning the legitimacy of the nomination going to the presidential candidate. You don't. That's not a good way to run for vice president.
About Obama and McCain, as we continue to await developments in this other thing. I said this at the start of the show. You're John McCain. You make the impression you made in New Orleans last night. They got a winner with that green screen that he's standing in front of, right? Obama makes the impression that he made in St. Paul last night. Why do you ever voluntarily appear in the same place at the same time with Obama, unless you have to?
Because you want to speak in front of a big crowd? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, John McCain is the kind of old news perpetual candidate guy, you know, and Barack Obama is the new guy. And they realize that. And so they think that maybe they can get some of the Obama magic to rub off on McCain by putting him in front of the same audience. They will appear before large, enthusiastic audiences who are interested in what they have to say if they appear together. And McCain isn't doing that in front of audiences that are summoned to see him on his own. But, you know, they're also thinking, okay, between them on speeches, Obama wins. And when you
Right.
appear alone, that's what you do, is you give a speech. And there is this presumption that McCain thrives in the sort of town hall environment, that sort of town hall meeting environment. At least he does better there than he does in speeches. But keep in mind that all of McCain's great flubs from this campaign so far have happened in the town hall meeting environment. The 100 years in Iraq, that was at a town hall meeting. The bomb Iran, that was at a town hall meeting. When he sort of smiled at and laughed along with the questioner who called Hillary Clinton a word that I won't say right now.
That was after a town hall meeting.
That was after a town hall
Sunni
meeting.
and Shia was in front of an impromptu press event in the Middle East.
They can't feel confident about it, I think, even if they think it's better
But
than
one
speeches.
thing occurs to me as we're talking about this. As we look back on John F. Kennedy and the change that he represented and the place in history that he earned himself and the Camelot mystique and all the rest of that presidency, Richard Nixon almost beat him. And Richard Nixon was perhaps the least personally magnetic man to run for president in the 20th century. Is there something to the idea that if you trot out there on the stage with the guy, you can get the votes of all the people who lost out to the good-looking kids in high school?
That you can get the I resent the hunky guy vote?
Well, yeah. And which word was that again you used?
Hunky.
Hunky. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just be careful when we're talking about this.
Oh,
race.
sorry, right, yes.
With hunky with a U. Okay.
Yes, the attractive guy.
attractive guy.
Young, attractive, energetic guy.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, I think that they've got to do something to try to get Obama off of the sort of juggernaut that he's on right now. And when Obama appears alone before a room full of 20,000 people with another 17,000 outside or whatever those huge numbers were last night, Obama looks like he's winning. And they've got to make him do something different.
Right. I'll be with you in a moment, Senator Obama. I just have to put my green screen in place.
I don't look nauseous and twitchy enough. We need to get the green up.
If we see that again, he needs to fire all. I have to do a special comment telling him to fire all of his advisors.
Yeah.
Rachel Maddow of Air America and MSNBC, as always, great thanks.
Thank you, Keith.